Jennifer slept in her little bed with dreams of her rabbit in her little head. Jennifer's rabbit, brown and white, left the house and went to town one night, along with a turtle and a kangaroo and 17 monkeys from the city zoo. They went for a ride on an old streetcar. They tried to drive it, but they didn't get far. They all got tired and decided to go to see the people in the picture show. Jennifer's rabbit, white and brown, looked in the windows of the shops downtown. He found a dress for Jennifer to wear and a pretty blue ribbon for long blonde hair. Then the rabbit and the turtle and the kangaroo bowed to each other like polite folks do. They went to a shop where the cookies are free, and they all had cookies and oolong tea. Then my, said the turtle, as the clock struck 3, the hour is growing very late for me. Not at all, said the rabbit, if you give me a chance, I'll lead all the monkeys in a hula dance. So they danced all night and the moon danced too. Then the rabbit and the turtle and the kangaroo jumped into bed and closed their eyes and were fast asleep before the sun could rise. And Jennifer slept in her little bed with dreams of a rabbit in her little head. Good morning, Mr. Blue. We've got our eyes on you. The evidence is clear that you've been scheming. You'd like to steal away and while away the day. You'd like to spend an hour dreaming. What will it take to whip you into line? A broken heart, a broken head. It can be arranged, it can be arranged. Step softly, Mr. Blue. We know what's best for you, and we know where your precious dreams will take you. You've got a slot to fill, and fill that slot you will. You'll learn to love it, or we'll break you. What will it take to whip you into line? A broken heart, a broken head. It can be arranged, it can be arranged. Be careful, Mr. Blue. This phase you're going through can lead you nowhere else but to disaster. Excuse us while we grin. You've won our patience then. It's time we showed you who's your master. Don't worry, Mr. Blue. We'll take good care of you. Just think of it as sense and not surrender. But never think again that you can think again, or you'll get something you'll remember. What will it take to whip you into line? A broken heart, a broken head. It can be arranged, it can be arranged. Victoria dines alone, she skips the potatoes. Victoria begins her meal with greens and tomatoes, reading the newspaper carefully folded beside her, hanging her coat by her table and letting it hide her. Victoria dines alone, her dress is old-fashioned. Victoria watches her weight, each meal is rationed. Salisbury steak and the news of the student disorders, parsnips and butter and armies patrolling their borders. Victoria's feet are tired, she wants to go home. She orders her coffee with cream and drinks it alone. Victoria dines alone with Hollywood fables. The waiters are counting the time and polishing tables. Victoria's reading off strong astrological forces. Cheesecake and coffee and columns of Reno divorces. Victoria's feet are tired, she wants to go home. She orders her coffee with cream and drinks it alone. Victoria dines alone, she skips the potatoes. Victoria begins her meal with greens and tomatoes. Reading the newspaper carefully folded beside her. Hanging her coat by her table and letting it hide her. Where do you go at night? Where do you go at night? Wrapped in your cheap cologne, where do you go at night? Down to the pit with the stinking air and the smell of the sweat and the death is there. I dance for $1 and I dance for a dime till their eyes are begging and their pockets are mine. I pick a body and I name a fee. I take them money and they take me, and that's where I go at night. That's where I go at night. Don't point your fingers, say your prayers in me. The truth is hard, but I'm gonna tell it. There's a whole lot of ways to sell it. How do you spend your days? How do you spend your days? When you can sleep no more, how do you spend your days? I rise at 4 in the afternoon. I take a match and a kitchen spoon. I wrap my arm in an old necktie and I find religion on the very first try. I wash my face and I comb my hair. My looks are going, but I just don't care. And that's how I spend my days. That's how I spend my days. Don't point your finger, say your prayers in me. The truth is hard, but I'm gonna tell it. There's a whole lot of ways to sell it. Where do you find your love? Where do you find your love? Where do you run to him? Where do you find your love? I find my love in an old hotel. He's mean and wicked and he knows me well. He takes my body, he takes my mind, takes my money and he beats me blind. Says he'll help me but he won't say when. Sends me walking on the streets again, and that's where I find my love. That's where I find my love. Don't point your finger, say your prayers in me. The truth is hard, but I'm gonna tell it. There's a whole lot of ways to sell it. How will you spend your life? How will you spend your life? While ladies play at cards, how will you spend your life? Lying in a circle of velvet rooms, dying in 6-inch carpeted tombs, hiding in the gutter with the aching pains, trading the years for the aching veins, dying at last when the tricks are few, when I can't get action from a John like you are. That's how I spend my life. That's how I spend my life. Don't point your finger, say your prayers at me. The truth is hard, but I'm gonna tell it. There's a whole lot of ways to sell it. I left a window open all night long, and I got rained on, silly me. If I owned the Playboy Club, I'd probably lose my key. When you're winning, you don't mind. And now she's gone. So much for winning. I've got a dictionary in my room. I learn a new word every day. When I try polite conversation, can't think of a word to say. When you're winning, you don't mind. And now she's gone. So much for winning. She walked out sometime last evening, didn't bother to say goodbye. If you gave me the deed to the Mississippi River, you know it would run dry. I found some pamphlets waiting in the mail. Self-improvement guaranteed, yoga books and psychic power can't get me what I need. When you're winning, you don't mind. And now she's gone. So much for she walked out sometime last evening, didn't bother to say goodbye. If you gave me the deed to the Mississippi River, you know it would run I left the window open all night long, and I got rained on, silly me. If I owned the Playboy Club, I'd probably lose my key. When you're winning, you don't mind. And now she's gone, so much for winning. Now when I landed in Vietnam, I hardly got to see Saigon. They shaped us up and called the roll, and off we went on a long patrol, swapping lies, swatting flies, firing the odd shot here and there. The captain called a halt that night, and we had chow by the pale moonlight, a lovely dinner they planned for us, with a taste like a seat on a crosstown bus. Some of the veterans just left theirs laying in the cans for the Viet Cong to find, deadlier than a landmine. Well, naturally, somebody told a joke, and a couple of the fellas began to smoke. I took a whiff as the cloud rolled by, and my nose went up like an infield fly. The captain, this blonde fella from Yale, he looked at me and said, "What's the matter with you, baby?" Well, I may be crazy, but I think not. I'd swear to God that I smell pot, but who'd have pot in Vietnam? He said, "What do you think you've been sitting on? These funny little plants, thousands of them. Good God Almighty. Pastures of plenty." Well, we all lit up, and by, the whole platoon was flying high. With a beautiful smile on the captain's face, he smelled like midnight on St. Mark's Place, cleaning his weapon, chanting the Hare Krishna. The moment came, as it comes to all, when I had to answer nature's call. I was stumbling around in a beautiful haze when I met a little cat in black PJs. Rifle, ammo belt, B.F. Goodrich sandals. He looked up at me and said, "What's the matter with you, baby?" He said, "We're camping down the pass and smelled you people blowing grass. And since by the smell you're smoking trash, I brought you a taste of a special stash, straight from Uncle Ho's Victory Garden. We call it a Hanoi Gold." So his squad and my squad settled down and passed some lovely stuff around. All too soon it was time to go. The captain got on the radio, said, "Hello, headquarters. We have met the enemy, and he has been smashed." Clarissa Jones got bit on the heel by a rat, and she hit it with a broom. He ran to the corner and stood there grinning like he owned the goddamn room. Clarissa Jones threw an iron at the rat, and the rat just seen it say fine. He twitched his tail in the corner and said, "You gotta go to sleep sometime."
Clarissa Jones, his kid age 16, hated his heavy old shoes. He wanted fine strides like the studs on the street, and they didn't know he'd been paying his dues. Clarissa Jones, his kid got busted. She was 3 days in getting the news. They gave him a shower, a meal, and a uniform, and 2 old heavy shoes. Clarissa Jones, where are you going? It's cold and the wind is blowing through your bones. And where is your mind, Clarissa Jones? Clarissa Jones carried bedpans, swept up chain sheets, and mopped the hall. All the doctors said she was a very good worker. Clarissa Jones knew them all. Now Clarissa Jones sits in her window with the paper, reading how they burned the next street flat. She's reading about the trouble. She ought to write a letter saying, hey, it never happened like that. Clarissa Jones, where are you going? It's cold and the wind is blowing through your bones. And where is your mind, Clarissa Jones? Mr. William Hawkins rose early, shaved, dressed carefully, and drank his tea. He hit the desk at 9 with thanks to the Board of Opportunity. On his very first day, his boss went to great lengths to make him feel at home. And his first assignment was to dispossess on Miss Clarissa Jones. Clarissa Jones, where are you going? It's cold and the wind is blowing through your bones. And where is your mind, Clarissa Jones? Where is your mind, Clarissa Jones?
Someone's morning begins. The phone in the next apartment is ringing. The man upstairs in the shower is singing loudly. Someone's morning begins. The shadows on his window are thinning. The picture on his dresser is grinning proudly. Morning again. The sun is probably shining. Someone is probably finding his way. Morning again. Somebody else's day. Someone's morning begins. The sound of his razor is humming and whirring. Under the blanket somebody is stirring and talking. Someone's morning begins. I think I can hear him ordering dinner. His steps in the hall are the steps of a winner stalking. Morning again. The sun is probably shining. Someone is probably finding his way. Morning again. Somebody else's day. Somebody else is going for glory. Someone else is going far. I'm drinking my instant coffee and wondering where you are. Someone's morning begins, and down on the pavement the traffic is roaring. I make more coffee and catch myself pouring one for you. Someone's morning begins. The radio gives me advice with my dishes. I'm tripping myself on the things that I wish I had done for you. Morning again. The sun is probably shining. Someone is probably finding his way. Morning again. Somebody else's day. Morning again. The sun is probably shining. Someone is probably finding his way. Morning again. Somebody else's day.
The burger banged his fist on the table, red face glowing with pride. We'll rise, he cried, as soon as we're able, avenging the one who died. No more the hunted, no more the mouse, no more the quivering prey. The masters are driving the slaves from the house. The masters are coming to stay. The burger dipped his bread in the gravy, splattering a silken tie. Nachmal the Wehrmacht, Nachmal the Navy, Nachmal the thundering sky. Once more the stadium rocking with cheers, once more the torchlight parade. Away with the cowering dog-bitten years, away with the humble charade. 1,000 years, the tears of the weak for our wine. 1,000 years, we'll pluck them like fruit from the vine. Ah, they fed us and clothed us and handed us weapons as well. But give us a leader, we'll follow him down into hell. The burger spilled his wine on the table, staggering out of his chair. We'll rise, he cried, as soon as we're able, stroking the young man's hair. The English are finished, the French are fools, the Russians have China to fear. The Yanks holler commie and follow their rules, and the time for the rising is here. The young man's eyes were fiery and glowing, the burger's hand in his own. We'll rise, he cried, the movement is growing, we'll march on a road of bones. They're coming from Egypt, they're coming from Hesse, they're coming from Argentine. We'll march over Russia, we'll march to the west, we'll show them what conquest can mean. 1,000 years, the tears of the weak for our wine. 1,000 years, we'll pluck them like fruit from the vine. Ah, they fed us and clothed us and handed us weapons as well. But give us a leader, by God, and we'll see them in hell.
Now that I've taken my life, hiding the damp remains, scouring the stubborn stains, erasing them carefully, breaking the dreams of a life and interring them prayerfully. My telephone never stops ringing now that I've taken my life. Now that I've taken my life, pleading reality, mumbling morality, and losing the child I was, smiling my youth to the wall and recalling how wild I was. I'm a very popular man now that I've taken my life. It was a foolish life, I know, ivory towered and quite out of touch. It was a life that had to go. I guess I won't miss it much, for the solid gold women are standing in line and dangling a solid gold key. The very best hostesses pour me my wine, introducing their daughters to me. Now that I've taken my life, remembering the April air, my hands in a cursory prayer, my eyes on the crowd outside. The music is merry, the laughter is comfortably loud outside, and the laughter I'm hearing is mine. Now that I've taken my life, it was a foolish life, I know, ivory towered and quite out of touch. It was a life that had to go. I guess I won't miss it much, for the solid gold women are standing in line and dangling a solid gold key. The very best hostesses pour me my wine, introducing their daughters to me. Now that I've taken my life, hiding the damp remains, scouring the stubborn stains, erasing them carefully, breaking the dreams of a life and interring them prayerfully. There's clearly no stopping me now, now that I've taken my life. So they danced all night and the moon danced too, then the rabbit and the turtle and the kangaroo jumped in the bed and closed their eyes and were fast asleep before the sun could rise. And Jennifer slept in her little bed with dreams of a rabbit in her little head.